Let's have a look at our grid then for the Minimax final here in Kerpen. It's going to be Tygo Holthuizen in first place, Mick Klinkers in second, Julian Dermer in third with Jim Darnan in fourth, Mika Vonk in fifth with Pelle van Echtelt in sixth place, Trent van Melk in seventh with Jaro Kiewicz-Bosch in eighth, Tim Hansler in ninth place with Max van der Meer in 10th, Matthias Klever in 11th place with Julius Garabov in 12th, Lennart Kerster in 13th place with Lorenz van Vlaanderen in 14th place, Noah Stehouder in 15th place. Got some work to do with, on the back row, Nicky Naruhito Tomasa and Milano Shiphorse, both disqualified from the pre-final for a technical infringement. Those are your 17 set to take a start of this Minimax final. And essentially, it's a lap here to almost see at racing pace what the lines and, more importantly, where the grip isn't. I think that's more important rather than where the grip is. If you know where the grip is, that's fine, but where do you know which places to avoid? I suppose the tip is to go with the racing line, but now they're on wet tyres, that's more of a possibility. We start our second lap here. Start our second lap of the formation lap. This will be where drivers will now line up in position. It's going to be Holthuizen, Tygo Holthuizen on the front row, alongside Mick Klinkers, both with big points to prove for the championship. Who can take them on? Who can take this on at this stage? Remember, 13-minute final with 2 additional laps after time has elapsed. And drivers now getting into formation, ready to take the start for the Minimax final. 13 minutes on the clock. Who can take top honours here? Keep a close eye on that front row. And also keep an eye at the back there. Tomasa and Shiphorse have jobs to do to make their way back up the order. And here we go then, around the hairpin. Ready to take this start then. And they're being sent round again. It's a false start. And they'll have to do they'll get the 1 lap to reconvene and group up once again and take into formation. And drivers will get another chance, or have another chance, I should say, to start this race. We saw earlier on in the KZ2 pre-finals as well that, oh, there's a spinner just as the camera cuts away. That's not ideal for the second start, because that will more than likely put that drive all the way to the back of the grid now. It's a gap in the 5th row, I think, as far as I can see. But drivers now make their way through the left-hander for where they'll see 2 yellow stationary flags to indicate to line up in formation. And we get a second bite of the cherry to start this race. Holthuizen and Klinkers on the front row. Julian Dermer as well, ahead of the 1-2-4 of Jim Darnan. And also to keep your eyes at the back there, Tomasa, who finished up the top half of the order, will have time to find as well. Here we go then. Second bite of the cherry. Through in towards the final corner. Will we get it this time to stay in formation? And the lights go out, we go racing, and it's a good start then from the number 129. That is, of course, Tygo Holthuizen, who takes over the lead in this one with the spray up and at them, and Holthuizen runs deep in towards the first corner, loses at least 2 positions there. I should say the second corner, it's the first hairpin, as drivers now make their way through. Julian Dermer, will see what sort of positions he can take up then in these early parts, down the inside, and a bit of a switchback as well. Great battling at the front of the order in the pouring rain here. As one kart off onto the grass and picks up the puddle on the inside. That's not going to help keeping dry, or at least it won't help on the wetsuits, but as long as the kart is okay and running in working order, then should be okay on that front. But a great battle for the lead. Holthausen running deep in towards the first hairpin then. And it is the number 122 leading the way. It's Julian Dermer, who started third place in this race, now leads it through in towards the final corner we go. And makes his way across the start-finish line ahead of the 129 of Tygo Holthausen. Third place then is Jim Darnan. As we make our way through in towards the hairpin, Darnan looking for a move up the inside of Holthausen there, but Holthausen looks like he had the better grip on the outside line, and still they scrap away through in towards the S section now. Holthausen just still ahead of Danson there, and down the inside, that looks like that's a Tomasa down the inside. There's the 1-2-4 of Jim Darnan, trying to see if he can find a way past Holthausen then. Two different lines being taken there. We might see this a lot throughout the day as drivers try everything and anything to get some positions there. We're side by side into the left-hander there. That's very nicely done there from the number 125. That's Nicky Naruhito Tomasa, who's done a fine job from 16th place on the grid, getting up plenty of positions, as we just saw there. Holthausen getting sideways out of the final corner there, but manages to keep it all under wraps through and towards the first corner. Following on then, and there's your battle for what is right now second place. Jim Darnan seeing if there's a way through. Not quite yet though, as it's very clear that Holthausen is defending this one. Again, two different lines being taken here. Tygo Holthausen wanting to hold on to that second place. Jim Darnan putting the pressure on, applying that pressure more and more in these conditions. And Darnan, I thought, was going to look for it down the inside, but not this time. Might have compromised the exit there. As we make our way through now in towards the flying left-hander. Still trying to find a way through, but there isn't one, as Holthausen does well to place the kart and make sure there isn't a room for Darnan then. Holthausen more preferring to run deeper into the final hairpin to get the grip on the exit then. It's a much preferred line, which is working well because Holthausen is able to keep ahead. What that defensive line is doing though, is allowing Julian Dermer to fly up the road. And that's a bit of an off-track moment for Mick Klinkers, the 104, very much up and ready in the championship, and was running in 5th place. Looks like Mick's lost a couple of positions there, at least probably down to 7th. It just shows you, even if you're high up in the championship, these conditions are very testing. Here we go then, following on with the 133, that's Mika Vonk. So that's Kivitz Bosch right behind in the, I believe, the 103. That's Yara Kivitz Bosch, as our leader now makes the way through in towards the final corner. It's good, so far so good right now for Julian Dermer. Second place across the line is Holthausen. And third is Darnan there. Still not to rule out as well. The 4th place driver there, you can see, taking a much tighter line, is Nicky Naruhito Tomasa, who started this race from 16th place, I believe, which is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal from Tomasa at this stage. But definitely one to watch in this race, as Tomasa will be very much ready to take advantage as this battle for second place rages on. Holthausen maybe running too deep there. That's going to allow a little bit of battling here between himself and Darnan through and towards the left-hander. Taking us now on towards the final corner here. Darnan seeing if there's a way through, but there isn't quite a way through. Not just yet. Against Holthausen. Holthausen lighting up the rear tyres And Darnan is deciding to give a little bit of a push towards the hairpin then. Will Darnan look for a move? He'll have to go the long way around if he wants it. But no way through. And there you can see, up the inside, was trying Nicky Naruhito Tomasa. And again up the inside goes Tomasa. Not quite the way through just yet, but that's just showing you the tighter inside line is not actually a bad option at this stage. Holthausen and Darnan taking wider lines to try and put the power down earlier. But Tomasa very much sticking to a dry line through that section. What it's giving us is a great battle for second place with less than 7 minutes on the clock. As Darnan runs a little bit deep then, that allows an opportunity for Tomasa. As we make our way through in towards the hairpin, Tomasa goes for a move down the inside, has to back out of it, and then gets back onto the power. Again, the more they squabble though, the more that's going to allow Holthausen to get a move ahead. We'll see, I'm sure, two different lines here as Tomasa takes the inside line and gets the power down and moves now up into third place ahead of Darnan. Darnan now trying to fight back. Is there a way through? They were running side by side. They are now no longer. And that is going to be a move for position for Tomasa, who's now up into third place. Splendid drive right now from Nicky Naruhito Tomasa. As we look back as well, just less than 6 minutes on the clock. It's Julian Dermer who leads the way. Last time at the line it was 4.5 seconds between himself and Tygo Holthausen. Third place then making the way through. There's the 1.25 of Nicky Naruhito Tomasa. Now we'll see if there is a response here from Darnan to try and fight back, or can Tomasa really put the pressure now once again on Holthausen. Holthausen's probably thinking, got the move done, broke away, managed to get away, but still can't get away. You see there, Tomasa's taking that tighter inside line in towards the hairpin, and although it's allowed Darnan to close up on that occasion, it just seems to be working for Tomasa. So it really is good to see two different lines being taken from the two drivers, and it's allowing for great racing. Julian Dermer, though, just making sure everything is neat and tidy at the top by setting the fastest lap of the race so far last time around, 62.7 seconds last time around. Very treacherous conditions. We've seen that gravel trap catch out so many drivers over the course of the weekend. It's caught out many in the pre-finals as well. As we see then, watching on a battle with the 114, that's going to be Milano Shiphorst, who right now is ahead of Klinkers. That's a move that's happened in the last lap, but Klinkers down the inside in towards the hairpin to try and take back the position. Klinkers is ahead and stays ahead there. That's a battle for 7th place. And there's a move up the inside once again. It's a lovely bit of track there to go side-by-side racing now. As that's the 104, that's Klinkers once again having to make some positions there. And Klinkers is having to battle through the field at this point. Meanwhile, we have 3.5 minutes left on the clock to run, and it is Dermer who leads the pack at the moment, ahead of Holthausen. Then it's Darnan in third place, but Tomasa is in 4th place and away back. So potentially something occurring on the last lap. But Tomasa down in 4th place and now about 5 seconds back. It's about 4 seconds back actually from the cars ahead in Darnan. So Tomasa is going to have to put in that work all over again to try and catch up to Darnan for third place. And less than 3 minutes and 2 additional laps. It's not a lot of time to try and recover that one. Well, we've seen some great battling. We've seen some great lap times being set as well. It is a case of Davis driver As we see Mika Vonk, this is for 5th place ahead of Kiewiczbosch in the 103. That's Yara Kiewiczbosch in that battle there for 5th place. Vonk having to defend that position as we make our way through the flying left-hander now. And then onwards towards the hairpin we go. Is there a move here for Yara Kiewiczbosch? Down in towards the hairpin, no, slightly too far back, but Vonk runs a little deep. That might open the door, but not quite. Kiewiczbosch couldn't quite take advantage of that one. As we make our way through and towards the first corner. Onwards then, this battle for 5th place goes down towards the hairpin. Again, both of them taking a wider line. It seems like that is the common theme, to take the wide line in towards the hairpin. There's only a handful of drivers that are not going by that. And one of them is Tomasa, who's taking the much tighter dry line. Tomasa, meanwhile, has just set a personal best, 1 minute 3 flat, was 7/10 quicker than Darnan. Is there enough time on the clock? Is there enough time as well for Kiewiczbosch to see if they can find a way past Mika Vonk here as we make our way through the left-hander? Through they go. Kiewiczbosch has got a really good run, but just seemed to fade away there. A really good line, perhaps just the rear tyres lighting up. You can see treacherous conditions here, but Kiewiczbosch has got a good run out of the hairpin to put the pressure on Mika Vonk here. Through the first corner we go. In this battle for 5th place, is there a chance for Yara Kiewiczbosch to make a move? No, there isn't. Kiewiczbosch stays behind. Maybe a little bit of a switchback, a cutback in then. But no, not this time. Kiewiczbosch staying put. Mika Vonk holding on to 5th place as it stands. 45 seconds left on the clock then. As there goes our battle, continuing for 5th place. Not long now for Mika Vonk, but also on the same vein, it's not long for Kiewiczbosch to try and get a move done here. There goes our leader in Julian Dermer across the line. So there's 20 seconds on the clock, so that'll give us 3 laps worth of racing, which is this one and then the additional 2 as part of the schedule. Mika Vonk again. It is that racing line, isn't it, for Mika Vonk? He's happy to let the kart run deep in towards the final corner to then get the power down and take a more defensive line. There's our race leader in Julian Dermer, making the way through, and we've got one off into the gravel there towards the left-hander, and I'm trying to see if that's Leonard Kernet. Just trying to work out, trying to see the number. Might be the 112, but I can't quite see from this angle. If it is the 112, it's near Noah Stehauder. But in any case, the race leader comes across the line, 2 laps to go. So we've got the left-hander that's covered by the yellow flags at the moment, so there'll be no overtaking through there. Race leader right now has a 6.7 lead over Tygo Holthausen at the moment. And Darnan, well, has managed to keep the gap to Tomasa then. Tomasa was looking for very much a late charge to try and grab back a podium, but it looks like that is fading as the laps tick on. Julian Dermer then through in towards the left-hander. The kart has been recovered, so we're back to green flag racing through that section. And as we make our way through in towards the hairpin, Julian Dermer gets the power down and will start the final lap of the Minimax final. This was a huge opportunity for Julian Dermer. At the moment, he's grabbing it with both hands. As he makes his way through in towards the final couple of corners then. Makes his way through now. 8-second lead over Holthausen. Started in 3rd place. did Dermer. And now as he makes his way on towards the short run towards the left-hander we go in this Minimax final. We head our way onwards towards the hairpin for the final time in the Minimax final. And rounding in towards the hairpin for the final time to take the checkered flag, it's going to be Julian Dermer who takes the victory here in the Minimax final. A comfortable lead as Holthausen comes across the line to take second place. It's Jim Darnan across the line to take third. And across the line, a very respectable drive from 16th on the grid to 4th place for Nicky Naruhito Tomasa. Vonk is in 5th place there, with Klinkers 6th, Shiphorst 7th, Kivitsbosch in 8th place. I would have loved that battle to go on for a little bit longer. Shiphorst managed to get ahead, but Klinkers managed to get up to 6th place towards the end there. And Van Vlanderen across the line to take the last spot on the checkered flag. So, race results then from the Minimax final. Provisional results, Julian Dermer takes the victory by nearly 8 seconds ahead of Tygo Holthausen. Jim Darnan in 3rd place with Nicky Naruhito Tomasa in 4th. Mika Vonk in 5th place with Mick Klinkers in 6th. Milano Shiphorst in 7th place. Jaro Kivitsbosch in 8th. Trent van Melk in 9th and Pelle van Echtelt in 10th place. Julius Graboff in 11th place with Matthias Klever in 12th. Max van der Meer in 13th place with Tim Hansler in 14th and Van Vlanderen rounding off the 15 drivers with Stiehouder not finishing the race and Kirster not taking the race start.